I know last time I used my AirPods, it messed up with the audio, so hopefully that's not the case. Let me know if you guys can hear me. Welcome everybody to a late night live. It's just after 10 o'clock. It's like 10:15 on Tuesday, maybe. Hi, Kimberly, welcome. First one here. Can you hear me or is the background noise unbearable? But yeah, it's a late night here. Hold on, let me get rid of this gum. All right, that's better. Hi, Jen. Hi, Aaron. Hi, KJ Vids. What? Late Night Live? Yes, Late Night Live. Hi, Maisie. Hi, Kathy Cook. Hi, CRM Filming. Hi, Julie. Yeah, we are doing a Late Night Live, and I'll get into it here in just a second why we're doing it late night. I mean, the biggest reason is I want to get this table done, and I'm pretty close, and, well, you guys actually haven't even seen today's video, so you that are watching the live might get a little bit of a sneak peek as to what the table is looking like before the video comes out. The video will come out right after this live is done. It's already edited and everything, so it'll be coming out here in just a minute. Hello from Alberta, Canada. Hi, Carol. Hi, Michelle. Hi, Darlene. Hi, Thomas. Hi, Kimberly. The joiner is working great. Actually, it's working fantastic. My dad and I spent 2 hours getting it tuned up. I used it again tonight, and I need to check if I'm square, but it should be. Hold on. Marcy just texted me. There we go. Sorry, I'm back. Hey, Neil from London, UK. Welcome, welcome. Hi, Kathy. I love it when you are late on a live late like this. I'm surprised there's so many of y'all awake. Oh my goodness. Hi, Debbie, Ontario, Canada. Hi, Rhonda. Tammy, South Louisiana. Thanks for joining with me, y'all. I'm excited. KJ, when are we heading to Harbor Freight, or when am I leaving? And what do you want? I know. Sorry, the last 2 days have been absolutely crazy. Let's touch base in the morning, and we'll figure it out, because I know what I want. And it's going to help with this project and some future projects. Actually, there's been a lot of comments about what I should get, so I do have an idea. Hi, Tina. She says, can't wait to see the table progress. Guys, how's the background noise? Can you hear me? I have a propane heater going. I haven't seen any complaints about it, so maybe it's okay. But if I have to turn it off, I will. I will say, in today's live, we are going to be using power tools. So it is going to get loud at times. So, yeah, just a heads up. I'm glad you guys can hear me because I didn't really want to turn off the heater. But yeah, okay, what are we going to do? So, in yesterday's video, if you guys were watching, we ran out of boards. Actually, we decided to make the table a little bit wider than we currently have it, and wider than the amount of boards that I had. And so we went to the lumber yard to Baker's Hardwood, which, huge shout out to Baker's Hardwood. Y'all go find them on Facebook or on their website, but probably on Facebook if you can. It's Baker Hardwoods it's by Sherman, Texas. It might be in Baker, Texas. Maybe that's why it's named Baker Hardwoods. I can't remember. But go on there and leave a like, leave a comment, let them know that I sent you. They deserve every positive review. I have never worked with somebody who is so nice and like willing to share their knowledge. A lot of people like gatekeep on secrets and things like that. I spent over an hour there today, which the kids were sitting in the car. They weren't very happy about it, but you'll see that in today's video. They came up with a new nickname for me. But I was asking him questions like, hey, you know, how do we fix these little gaps on the boards or whatever? And he was giving me tips and tricks of the trade, and absolutely fantastic. I love them. They know what they're doing. They're growing a ground up business in their backyard. They're putting the right time, money, energy into making it fantastic, and they're doing it right, and it's cool to see. It's really cool to see. It's woodworking is kind of an art form, and I feel like there isn't I guess it's like every other art form. There's not as many people that do it, but I feel like it used to be a big thing because everything used to be real wood. Now, 90% of furniture, gosh, it might be more than 90% honestly, is particle board with a veneer finish, which is not solid wood. Which I get it because it's a whole lot cheaper, but woodworking is definitely a dying art. And hopefully, maybe through some of my videos, I know a lot of our audience is older, but maybe down the road sometime, somebody will watch a video and decide, hey, you know, if Crandall can do it, I'm going to do it. That's my motto. If someone else can do it, I can figure it out, and it'll get someone else into woodworking. I hope so. It would be really cool. But yes, that's kind of what we're doing. So I got the boards. I had my buddy come over this evening because I can't do the squaring up of the boards by myself. So he came over, and him and his son, you guys know Hayden. Hayden came over and helped. And we came through, we got the boards ripped down, and so now we're ready to actually finish milling them down. And we'll get it all put in there, and hopefully we can get actually some gluing done on the tabletop on the live today. That is my goal. My goal is to glue up some boards. So that's what we're gonna try and do. And then if we have some time and I'm not completely worn out, I was telling Marcy, I was like, man, I should just do this live tomorrow during New Year's Eve so I can stay up for New Year's. Just working on this, then I would actually stay awake. I don't know if I'll actually stay awake for New Year's. How many of y'all stay awake for New Year's? We do have some friends coming over, but they're not gonna stay till midnight. So, oh, Hayden is the son. Hayden's not the son, Hayden is the son. Darren is his dad. Sorry, that was so confusing. No, Hayden is not, it was Hayden's dad. I'm actually really good friends with Hayden's dad, which then makes me friends with Hayden, if that makes sense. But yeah, gosh, now I lost my train of thought. Oh, if we can get that done and I still have some energy, then we may try out our stain and our sealer. I want to practice with both of those to make sure. I actually have them right here. I know this stuff works. This is what we used on our old table. Our old table that was in our house that has been in there since we started YouTube. It is a fantastic finisher. This is actually one of the finishes that they use at the wood shop at Baker's Hardwoods. So I felt really confident after I saw it there that this will do. So we're going to test that and see what it does to the color of the wood. But he also, Garrett, which is one of the guys that works there, I think he's the owner's son. I might be wrong. Partner's son, owner's son, something. He said you want to actually stain this, the color, even if it doesn't change the color of the wood when you stain it. He says sometimes the sealer will change the color of the wood. So we're going to try also staining it and then sealing it and see which color we like better. But that's kind of what we're going with. Hamilton says, build some metal in your table, maybe build a metal table. I definitely, oh, Beverly, no, there's still going to be a video tonight. There is a video, it's already done, it's already uploaded, I just haven't posted it. It's Baker's Hardwoods. I do want to build a combination table where it's metal with like a wood tabletop. And I think I definitely will do that. Maybe I'll do that for my office desk, office table, office desk. I think that would be pretty cool. Then I can mix the welding aspect that I like to do and the woodworking aspect. So you may see that down the road. I think it would be really cool. Neil says it's 4:20 a.m. here. I usually go to bed at 5 to 6 a.m. So seeing the New Year's is no big deal to me. Neil, are you working night shifts? I hope you're working night shifts, because if you're having to go to bed at 6 a.m. not working night shifts, you may as well be working night shifts. I think I got everything. I got hearing protection. I think we're ready to go. Should we start, y'all? We got 250 people working in here. Here we go. Hamilton, I'm a certified welder. I will help you out. Oh, that'd be sweet. Neil, I'm just a night owl. Are you kidding me? Golly, that's crazy. Night owls sleeping during the day. Hey, Meg's Little House in the Country, welcome. Good evening. Thanks for joining with us. Carolyn says, I'm ready. Beverly says, I'm ready. All right, let's do this. Like I said, there is going to be loud noises. So if you got AirPods in, I don't know what that's going to do. Okay, you guys ready to... Oh, hey, Chris from Wiley, Texas, just down the road. Only 7:23 in Alaska. Oh, yeah, you're doing good. You guys ready to see the tabletop? Nobody has seen this because I worked on it today and got it finished today. I got this section finished. I'm doing it in 2 halves. So you guys are going to see it before everybody else sees it in tonight's video. I got to move some of this wood around. Would you look at that? That is half of the finished table. Now we still got to cut off the edge to square it up. But as far as the tabletop goes, it's beautiful. It is fantastic. Let me give you a close-up of the joints, because the joints are like, you know, the most important part here. Those 2 pieces of wood, one ends, oh, right here. You can barely see that. I don't even know if y'all can pick that up. But these joints turned out absolutely fantastic. That one's got a little bit of a gap in it. That one's probably the biggest gap. But we'll be able to fix that. For my first tabletop like this, I'm pretty proud of it. Tina says, do you want to come make me a table, Crandall? Yeah, let's do it. Man, it is so much work. I'll tell you this. I spent, honestly, the biggest portion is like sanding to finish the surfaces. I spent all day working on this table, besides when we went to the store. So let's say I did 6 hours of work on this table, and it only came out to an 18-minute video, because it's like the same thing over and over and over and over and over again. I don't want you to sit there and watch that for however long, for 6 hours. So a 6-hour workday was condensed into like 18 minutes in today's video. Let me bring you up to speed on what we're doing here right now, though. So these are the 4 boards that are in this stack, are the new boards that we got today. And we squirt. Too much talking. Oh my gosh. Hamilton, I want you to take me hunting. It's been a long time. I was supposed to go hunting in the morning, and I said, I'm going to come out here and I'm going to work on this table, so I'm not waking up early to go hunt. Okay. We got it squared up. So we ran this through the table saw. The order of operations on this took me and my dad like quite a while to figure out, and now I've got it figured out. So we take our factory cut edge, which isn't finished, but it's pretty square, and then we use our table saw jig. We run it through the table saw, get the other side square, and then I run it through the jointer. Well, the table saw makes it all flat, run it through the jointer, which makes it square, and now we're going to run it through the other planer, which you could run it through the joiner to join this, but we're going to just run it through the planer since I only have one person. It's a little bit easier. But that side, we're going to clean that up. That's going to be the first thing we do. We're going to clean up all 4 edges, and then we're going to be able to start to piece these 4 pieces together. So I actually need to move this one because I need the workbench of the table to lay these out. Hey, we're up to 350 people. Thanks, y'all. Share this video. Hit the thumbs up button. I'll Let's get us up to like 500 is usually how many we have. So, I don't know if you guys caught it in one of the other videos I did, but I had a nick on one of the blades on the planer that I just used, and so I flipped. I didn't know I was going to replace the blade, so I started looking into it, and it turns out you can flip the blades over. They're double-sided, so you flip them over and it's a new blade. So I bought this thing 5 or 6 years ago, and I've used the same blade the entire time. As long as you don't chip the blade, you know, by an accidental nail or staple or something like that, they'll last a long, long time. Well, I finally decided it's time to switch out the blades. Well, I did, and oh my gosh. It like puts a mirror finish on the board. It is, I didn't know it could cut wood that, gosh, I got the hiccups. I didn't know it could cut the wood that smooth. It is absolutely gorgeous. Let's see, what do we have a comment here? Tina says he won't see your comment until he comes back to the phone. So now's our time to chat. That's right. Hey, at least you're not just sitting at the, you know, pointed at the clouds, watching the clouds. Roger says the tabletop is coming together so perfectly. Excellent job, Crandall, with your dad and Maverick's help. Marcy, you and the boys, as well as the rest of your members, family members, will enjoy the meals. I'm so excited about it. Coming along nicely. Can't wait to see it finished. Are you going to sand the underside of the tabletop? Big glob of glue under the... Yes, I do. I'm going to. The bottom I'm not going to spend half as much time on getting it finished. But I'll make sure it looks decent. I thought they made a place for a refrigerator. Yes, we did make a place for a refrigerator. We haven't put a fridge in yet, though. And it's so cold right now. So cold right now. You don't need one. Well, I've got the temperature up to 46. It's 36 degrees outside with the heater going. I've gotten it up to 36. Hey, Jamie, welcome. Jamie's one of our night owls. I love it. All right, well, I'm going to put this board up against our next board. So, I don't know if you can see it, but that bottom board is already jointed. Together, and that's going to be the board that attaches to the tabletop that we already have done. So this board that I just did, I'm going to see if I can line it up on the opposite side. So something's not right here. And I think I know what it is. You know how I was saying a little bit ago, how me and my dad had trouble trying to figure out what the process was for actually making this? Like, do we run it through the joiner first? Do we run it through the table saw first? Like, what do we do? Well, we eventually figured it out. But we did not run that last board through the jointer at the end. So the board that's supposed to connect, this one that's already got the grooves cut in it, is not squared up on that one side. And I double checked it because I laned up, this is the next board, and it is a perfect seam all the way down where this one has got a gap all the way down. So I'm gonna keep moving forward. I'll just have to go back, maybe have Marcy, maybe I can do it myself. I just don't wanna screw it up. It's really a two-person job to run it through the joiner. So I'll probably wait and finish that off with someone else. Well, let's run the next piece through the joiner, or through the planer. Hey, happy birthday, Neil! gosh, we're almost there, 492. Welcome, everybody. I think when I started cutting those boards, we were at like 300 people. So welcome, everybody new. We are currently working on my wife's custom table build. And let me just say, it's looking absolutely fantastic. Oh my gosh, we just got a super chat from Paula. Oh, why won't it? Hey, wait, don't disappear. My fingers are so cold that like my touchscreen won't pick it up. Paula says, Crandall, you're amazing. I love watching all your projects. Thank you so much. We appreciate you watching. Crandall, we missed what you said when you had your hearing protection on. Gosh, that was like 3 minutes ago. I can't remember what I was talking about. Beverly, I wonder if the heater's keeping Crandall's shop toasty warm? No. It is very undersized and underpowered for what we need. But guess what? I went to the wood shop today, and, well, they had a fantastic heater. Problem is it was like $3,000. Now, it is the large version. I guess they have some smaller versions. I think a smaller version would work because my wood shop is a lot smaller than theirs. But I got to look into the brand and the company of it, because even if I had to spend that kind of money, he's like, we turn it on, and it heats up the entire shop, and their shop is only insulated on the roof. It's not on the walls. And it heats their shop is maybe 3 times as big, and it heats it up in an hour. So with my small shop and then the smaller heater, I mean, I would probably do the same thing to where we can be in a t-shirt, especially because this building is going to be, it's 90% insulated, but it'll be fully insulated walls and ceiling. So it'll trap in the heat really, really well. So I'm gonna have to look into that, and I'm gonna get a heater figured out. It may be for next year, it may not be a thing I get to this year, but whatever. All right, I gotta show you this though, because I'm actually really, really happy with the way that this turned out. Look at that. That joint there is as good as you can get. Once I clamp on that, you're not going to be able to see it. That will disappear. So we need to run this through the joiner to see if I can get this gap to close. I'm by myself, so we may as well just try it. Kathy says you need an air conditioner heater combo. That would be good. I do have. There's our AC unit. Honestly, when I got it, I thought it did do heat, but it doesn't, so whatever. Yeah, the mini split, for some reason, is an AC only one. Unless I'm missing something. It could be heat. I've tried to turn the heat on, and it didn't do anything, so I don't think it is. Set y'all up right here. Oh my gosh, we're at 530 people. Welcome, everybody. We're going to square up a board. I'm going to try and do it without screwing myself up. I do not have another board to waste, so it's got to be perfect. moment of truth. I know I screwed it up on this end. That's not good. That's not good at all. But I think I took it off. I don't know. We're gonna have to fix that. Well, let's see if the rest of it works. It's still at an angle. Dang it. It's better. And the bottom side is perfect, but the top side is not. Why didn't it square it? It should have been perfectly square. Ah! The flipping thing isn't square. It came out of square. I don't know how, but it came out of square. I thought I had it perfect. Already set up. It should not have moved. I don't know why it moved, but dang it. Much better. I don't think those were quite tight enough. I think the vibration just slowly tipped on. All right, well, let's run it through again. Dang it. Beverly, check twice, cut once. I've checked this thing like 15 times. But I didn't check it today. I should have checked it today. Now I can see if I gotta be able to clean up that other end. Otherwise, my board's gonna shrink a lot. But we'll hopefully be able to get the other end of it cleaned up too. I'm gonna actually clean it up a little bit with the chisel. way it doesn't mess me up. -8 degrees Celsius in Germany? Oh, that sounds miserable. That's terrible. Holy cow, we're almost to 600. Thanks, y'all. The hardest part when doing this by yourself is the ends, because you're holding all of that board pressure, because I don't have a sawhorse for it, so that's kind of a problem. Oh my gosh, we just did it! Over 600 people. What are you guys doing staying awake? We all should be asleep. I guess there's a bunch of people outside the US that's like daytime, but gosh, for us in the US, we should be sleeping. All right, are we ready to see if I have completely messed this up? Or if it's actually square. Let's find out. $12.52, that ain't too bad. I don't know how much detail you guys can actually see in the camera. Here's the verdict. It is not as straight of a cut. It's square now. It's square now. But I think when we did it originally on the table saw, I remember there being one board that was just not quite as precise as I wanted it to, and I'm pretty sure it was this one. But we've made it work. With a little bit of clamping pressure, it pulls the gap completely out, and really that's what I needed. When it was cut at an angle, hold on. When it was cut at an angle, let's do it like this. It should butt up like this. Originally it was butting up like this, so no matter how much I clamped it, the gap was never gonna close. But now that I squared up both of the boards, even though they don't touch up perfectly without the clamp, when they do touch up now, they touch up flat and square to each other, which we can work with. There's a small enough gap that we can pull it in, and it's going to line up perfectly. So somebody just said, why don't you do all 4? Well, let's do the 4th one. "4 p.m. in Australia." Heck yeah. It's whatever the hour or the minutes is. I think it's like 10 something here in Oklahoma. Oh, I love that. Love that. I have to say, I think this half of the table is even more accurate than the first half of the table right there. I think it's going to work. How big is it going to be? It is 7 feet by 3.5 feet. But a little bit of clamp goes a long way. You can actually over tighten wood. I think it's hard to over tighten oak because it's such a hard wood. If I understand it correctly, I think it's hard to over tighten or over clamp, but this is not taking that much clamping pressure at all to clamp, so 2 thumbs up. Now I do need to fix on this end. I've got to come in here. I think I'm going to get the sander and try and sand that flat. It's pretty close, but that is from the router deal that we just did, and it didn't quite get as smooth as I wanted. So we'll pull this off, and then I think we're going to be ready to mark out and cut our biscuit joints. That's really tricky to do with the sander. Good night, Roxanne. Nine o'clock in Vegas. The night is young. I used to have a plane, which would help a lot in this situation. I think it got losted or damaged in our moving 5 years ago because I used it for the airplane. It actually might be in the airplane. I have a box of tools in the airplane. It's probably in there. Using this chisel is a lot better than using the sander because the sander will round it. So I got it close. Now I'm going to try and finish it off with this here. That's getting way closer. Did I lose y'all? Oh yeah, let's get over 400 likes for all this handcrafting. There's a little button you can push somewhere. That's the like. Use a block sander. Good idea. I don't have one. It's one of those things I need to make. I just haven't. Crandall, what are you gonna do for seating? Benches, chairs? Possibly a bench. Marcy has chairs picked out. We're just gonna buy them. I'm not gonna try and build chairs. Those are complex. But if we do a bench, I'll build a bench. Oh, that might be it. That might be it, folks. Just a little bit more. I like that. I think we can work with that. Yeah, Neil says it doesn't matter too much. If you're going to take some off of the ends, it doesn't matter. I am going to take some off the ends, but this board only has an inch of room to give, so that's not much. You know, it's half an inch on each end or something similar, you know, close to that. So I don't have a ton to give. I don't know how that audio worked. My head is like shaking from how loud that heater is. Oh my gosh. Okay. Next step is marking out our cutoffs for the 7-foot pieces. We started with all the 7-foot pieces, cut them down. So we got to figure out what side and what area we want to cut down on these boards. Do you guys like this step-by-step narration, or should I just shut up and get to work? I really don't know. I'm just talking as I go. That board's got some warp to it. That heater was really loud. I know now that it's off, you guys are like, oh wow, yeah, I can hear. Time to make some noise. I'm going to measure twice and cut once. I would hate for that to accidentally be too short for some stupid reason. Where's my tape measure? Okay, we're good. Now if I mess it up, at least I measured twice. These are not the final cuts, by the way. Now let's line everything back up. Thank you. There, my zipper's zipped up again. Golly, I'm glad I just saw that comment. Oh, how embarrassing. Happy New Year's to you and your family. Hope you have a wonderful year. Thank you, Carol. You too. There we go. I gotta take down those Christmas lights. They keep getting in the way. So what I'm going through and doing now is, oh my gosh, it's actually New Year's Eve in Australia, isn't it? Happy New Year's Eve. Or you said it was 4 o'clock. I guess it's still New Year's Eve. It's just not even nighttime yet. That's exciting. Happy New Year's to everybody in Australia, New Zealand, Fiji, Samoa, Tonga, I think. I think. I know Fiji and Australia and New Zealand. Anyways, Happy New Year's Eve. Us on the other side of the world, we're a day behind you. But what I'm doing here is I'm going through and marking where my biscuit joints are going to be. Obviously, when you're matching up the two pieces of wood and you're putting the biscuit in between the two, they need to line up. If it's any distance to the side or up and down or anything off, it's not going to work. So I'm going through and marking where each of our biscuit joints is going to connect so that I can just, quickly go through and cut them all because they're all already marked. I have no idea what good practice is, but I'm putting in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 of them over a 7-foot span, which I think could be overkill, but the more the merrier. Wow, that joint was so good I couldn't even tell where to mark. Man, I wish every board lined up like these middle two. They are like as precise as you could ever get. The other ones are okay, but that middle one is unreal. I got lucky on that one. So now what I got to do, these pieces are kind of like a jigsaw puzzle. So this is the best way that they go together with the tightest joints. Obviously, nothing is like 100% perfect. So you kind of twist and move the boards until they all line up. And this is the layout that we want. So what I got to go do, hey, a few Canadians, welcome, eh? Is go through and number each of them and point which direction is up and which direction is forward. So I do 3 marks, the number, and then the 2 directions. So this one's already done. 5. This one is 6. 7. And 8. I think we're ready to take these over to the next table and butterfly join them, or biscuit joint. London, Ontario. Howdy, Debbie. Amsterdam, Holland, Franny. Alabama. Oh, somebody's asking about, looks like Beverly's asking about the biscuit joiner. So you got a special saw. I'll show y'all because we're going to do this real quick. Biscuit joiner saw. And biscuits. It's just a wood piece. And basically you cut, imagine this, half of your board is on this side, half your board is on this side. So what you're doing with the saw is you're cutting this in. So this will slide in between the 2 boards. And then when they go together, they're not going to be offset this way. So it helps to make sure, especially with the tabletop, that they line up tight and there's not a lip like that between your 2 sheets, I guess. Oh my gosh, we're almost to 700. Welcome everybody. If you're just joining with us, we're building a table. What will be hopefully a custom high-end table. Got to get all this cords figured out here. Honestly, the shop is, as you guys know, pretty close to being done. Like the majority of the projects are done. There are still some small things I want to do. But one of the things is like doing this project, doing these projects, I know now where I want outlets because this is not the last big woodworking project that I'm going to do. So it's helpful to know now, okay, you know, I need this many tables. I need outlets in these spots to run all the tools because there's nothing worse than what I'm doing right now, which is running extension cords to 1, 2, 3, 4 different tools, having to unplug, plug it back in. I mean, it's not a huge deal, but where I've got the space and the way to do it, I'm going to try and have everything on its own outlet with its own power cord so that we can go in and cut it. Or, gosh, my mind. So we can run everything at the same time, is what I'm saying. And I don't have to go unplug it. So this is pretty cool. This tool is jigged out. I already have it set up for what I'm doing. So I set the thickness and the depth. The depth is based off of what biscuit size you're using. I think the common size is 0, 10, and 20. I have no idea what that measurement is, but that's what they call them. And then you can set your depth, which I've already got set. So we're about to make a bunch of noise. So if you got AirPods in, check your volume. But we've got 1, 2, 4 of these boards to cut. Let's get after it. You need a place to stack these, so why not the table saw? One down, 4 to go, 3 to go. There we go. I had to plug in my charger because I got no idea. Oh, it's a good thing I did. We were at 18%. All right, we'll charge up while we go here. Flip this board around. Now, because I marked the top only on these boards, I can't accidentally flip them over. Because if I flipped them over, none of the biscuits would line up. But marked them all on the same side, so that is not a possibility. Last one. And this one's only half jointed or biscuited, because obviously this side here is the outside of the table. We're not going to biscuit joint that. My arm is dead after that. All the cutting's done. Guess what that means? It's time to start gluing. Woo! What in the heck time is it? Is it midnight yet? I can't even see the time. Can somebody tell me what time it is central? I couldn't get this. I can't get it to work. Beverly, just opened a box of Russell Stover chocolates I got for Christmas. Watching Crandall and eating chocolate. It's almost 1 a.m. Oh my gosh. What does this life come to? Watching somebody cut wood. Oh my gosh. Hi, Patty. Hi, Greg. Are you going to be adding some sort of decorative edge on the tabletop? No, not at this point. We talked about it. We went back and forth on it. And I think we just want to go with the straight look of what it is. 11:40 Central. Thank you. Thank you for that, Paula and Debbie. Dry fit it first. I will say I did dry fit the first 2 or 3. Oh, a bunch of people giving me the time. Thank you. Thank you. I just needed to know. Yeah, I'm getting tired. I'm starting to run out of juice. But I want to get these glued up, at least one of them. The way that I did the other one is I glued 2 together, let it set, pulled them out, glued another 2 together, set them out, and then glued those 2 together. So it's only one joint gluing at a time. So then I'll have the 4 that we already did glued, these 4 already glued, and then it's one joint in the middle. My clamps are not the right clamps. They are adequate, barely, for this. For my next big woodworking project, I'm just going to spend the money and buy the barrel clamps, I think is what they call them. It's basically a round pipe with the fittings that clamp on it. And so I'll buy those for the next one. Those are super, super heavy duty. These ones, if you watch, when I actually go to clamp it, the clamps will bend because they're just not that strong. They're not made to hold that much clamping pressure. So we're making it work. It's adequate, but definitely one of those things that I'm going to upgrade in the future. Let's go ahead, though. We're going to take slab number 5 and 6, and we're going to attach those two together. I think I'm done with my safety glasses finally for the day. Correct clamps are essential. I know, it would help a lot. Are you going to stain it like suggested so it doesn't yellow? Yes, we're going to test it. We've got the stain and the finish. We're going to test it. He says sometimes it does do that, sometimes it doesn't because we don't want it to yellow. So we're gonna test both methods, see which one we like, see which one gives us the color we want, and then we'll stain or not stain the entire thing. Good thing I marked the board. I would have done that backwards. And that one. Okay, so these. See if I can move you all a little closer to the action here. Carol says, take time to quit so you don't make any mistakes. When you're tired, you need to rest. But we got to get this glued. We got to get it glued. There's not much of a mistake we can make here. As long as we glue it up, get enough glue on it, and then I'll show you, we have to level the boards so that, imagine my two hands as two different boards. You want to make sure they're flat, pretend that's flat, and not like this or like this. So it's pretty simple. When we clamp it, it's interesting. If you clamp, well, I'll explain it when I show it to you. If I forget, remind me to explain the clamping process. But we can actually make it flat. If it's bowing one way and we do a clamp on the opposite side, we can get it to bow the other way until it's perfectly flat. Tight Bond 3. This is the wood glue for any wood project ever. Ooh, I'm gonna sneeze. Now this joint is the worst joint out of all of them, meaning it has the biggest gap, probably two hair thicknesses. So I am going to put a little bit more glue than normal to try and fill that gap as much as possible. I just want to make sure we get a good seal. We'll just use a paintbrush to smooth out our glue. I put way too much on here. Way too much. I might have to get another bag of biscuits. We're going to be close to maxing out. Hey, we're up over 500 likes. Thank you guys so much. That helps push out this live stream to more people. Costs nothing and helps us out a bunch. I got to tap these in just slightly. Moment of truth. Here we go. See how straight we can get this. Tip is to start in the middle. I didn't know that until I talked to the woodworking guy today. And he said, when you're clamping, you always want to start in the middle. I said, all right. Gap's closing. Starting to get a good amount of glue squeezed out. Kimberly, you going to bed? Good night. I don't know if you're saying good night to someone else or if you're saying good night. All right, so with this clamp, the wood is starting to bow this direction. So if I put a clamp on the other side, it will actually try and bow it the other direction and we'll straighten it out perfectly. We're going to start kind of on the ends though. Now, the best case scenario is you have an even squeeze out of glue all the way along the thing. Obviously, if the glue's not squeezing out in one spot, you either didn't put enough glue or it's not tight enough to squeeze that glue out yet. Okay, now comes the crucial part of leveling, not actually leveling this board, but making sure it's not this direction or this direction. So if I set a level on there, I'll be able to tell. So that one needs to actually tighten up a little bit. Have to remember which way is which. Which clamp helps and which clamp hurts. So this end is perfectly level. Perfect. Perfect. Looks good. Now this has got a bow this way, so I think I actually need the clamp on the bottom. I'm going to change up this middle one and see if I can get it to move across the whole board. Straighten out. I will say it's pretty cool. You can literally watch the board just slowly move and then touch the bottom of the level till it's, you know, perfectly level. Probably didn't know it takes 50 clamps. Like I said, these are the cheapest clamps you can pretty much get. So next project we'll upgrade, but we're making do. Kind of a tedious process here. That might be as close as we're gonna get it. It's really pretty dang good. Now this glue is very easy. This glue is very easy to clean up, but what I found is I like to leave it beaded up on the top of this board, because then I can come through with my chisel and knock it all off in one go. If I try and clean it, then it kind of works into the pores, and sanding it out is a whole lot harder. So we're gonna go ahead, I'm just gonna leave it like that for right now. There we go. And just run a quick double check along it. Honestly, this wood says once it's clamped for 30 minutes, you can take the clamps off. I like to leave it for an hour to 2 hours just because I would hate for it to come apart, but we're gonna leave it for a while. Oh yeah. Golden. Now I get to chat with y'all. My gosh. 113 minutes. How long is that? We got to be going on like almost 2 hours here. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed this. So I got 650 people with 566 likes. Oh my goodness. Happy to catch your live after waking from night shift. 32 degrees, North Carolina coast, 37 Gulf Coast, 19 in Cleveland. I think we're probably in the low 30s. The temperature in here, since I turned to the heater off, has dropped like a solid 5 degrees. It's freezing in here now. Big In. That's going to be one beautiful table. Can't wait to see the finished product. I'll tell you what, at this point, I can't wait to see it either. I'm enjoying the process. I really am. This is like the kind of stuff I thrive on. You guys have probably seen in my build videos. Like, those are my favorite videos. Like, I love coming up with an idea, designing it, building it, working through the problems, working through, whatever kind of things we run into, and then figuring it out and putting it together and having it work out. I absolutely love that kind of stuff. So you guys are going to see a whole lot more of it. It seems like you guys enjoy that kind of stuff too, where we intermix the family stuff, but we're kind of like focused on what project we're working on, and then everything else kind of gets mingled into it. I've really enjoyed it. It's kind of a new format we've been doing the last month, which we've kind of always done it, but it's a little bit more intentional now. And so hopefully we can fly through a bunch of projects. Tomorrow, not tonight. Oh my gosh. I just realized today's video's not going to go live today. What time is it? Is it midnight yet? It probably is. We might need to wrap this thing up so I can go post today's video and actually have it go post today. Y'all will all know why it hasn't posted yet because, well, we've been doing this live. But yeah, it's been a really fun process. I've loved learning all the different school skills and trades and stuff. 12:08. Ah, dang it. We missed it. That's all right. This has been worth it. I guess there's no point in shutting it down now. We'll go for another 3 hours. Oh my gosh. I'm going to turn the heater on here and make sure I get this thing. I want this table to cure before the glue freezes. I don't know. I think our low tonight is maybe like 38 or 37. So I don't think it will freeze. The glue is definitely going to take longer to cure where it's so cold. Definitely don't want to take those off take the clamps off in 30 minutes because it's definitely not curing as fast as the bottle says it would. But thanks for joining with me on tonight's live. I think we're right at the 2-hour mark. Actually, we have 3 minutes to the 2-hour mark, which would, I believe, be the longest live stream we've ever done. So I guess we're going to drag this out for another 3 minutes to hit the 2-hour mark because why not? This is absolutely fantastic. You know that girl says, this is my normal time to watch, so let's go on. I love it. It's nice having a live inside. Okay, going along with that comment, for 5 years, since Marcy and I got married, when we first got married, I had a 1-car garage that I worked on. I actually built that entire portion of the airplane in the garage, in our 1-car garage. Built out some jig tables, put it all. Oh my gosh! A $50 super chat from OB Longhorn. Hopefully I'm saying that. Probably OB Longhorn. Thank you so much. $50 super chat. Oh my goodness. It says, get the boys some McDonald's for breakfast. They haven't ever had McDonald's, but maybe we'll go get them some donuts because that is our absolute favorite thing to do. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. So I started out always knowing that I wanted a workshop. I grew up, my dad was always tinkering, working on stuff, mostly building airplanes. He built two full airplanes when I was a kid and a half. And the last one that we built, which is the biplane, if you guys have seen our flying videos, the green one with the 2 wings, the yellow wings, I actually built most of those wings, the top wing. I built most of that when I was in high school. So that's kind of where I learned a lot of my woodworking skills and like the attention to detail when it matters and that kind of stuff. But I always knew I wanted a shop because I love tinkering, love working on stuff. So when we moved here, we had just our house, which was obviously completely destroyed by termites, infestation, mold, just nasty, terrible old house, 15 different floorings throughout, paneling instead of sheetrock. So we worked on that for the last 3 years. And then the last year 4, since moving here, we obviously built this shop. And I've got to say, it has been so nice to be able to come out here and make videos, work on things in covered, partially heated, we're working on that, partially cooled, working on that. But it's a clean, dry space with concrete, a flat surface. It's not working on the back porch under a little shade pergola. Like, I am very, very grateful to be to this point where we can actually work on this. Crandall, we are having duck for New Year's Eve dinner. How about you guys? Oh my gosh, that's awesome. We actually are having our friends Fernando. Y'all might, if you saw the video where we took Fernando's boys, Power Wheels tractor and we converted it, we're having New Year's with them. He's from Peru, born and raised there, moved here to the U.S. 5 or 6 years ago, maybe 7. I'm not exactly sure, somewhere in that time frame. But they're going to be making Peruvian food for us, him and his wife. His wife lived in Peru for 2 years. He's obviously from Peru, so they know how to make good Peruvian food, and I'm super, super excited to try it. I don't think I've ever really had Peruvian food. It's going to be, we're doing like rice, and then they told us some Spanish name of a food that I have no idea. So I don't know. I don't know what we're having, but it's going to be good. South American cuisine. I'm really excited about it. Oh my gosh, we're 6 likes away from 600 likes. Thank you so much. Man, we're so close. Chris says gonna make manicotti for the first time later this morning. Ooh, that'll be good. Okay, Paula says, now just to get the laundry room done and you can be finished with it. I'm not going to say it's going to get done very, very soon, but I am going to say it's going to get done very, very soon. It is on the list it's on the short list, I guess we could say. Yeah, we did hit 700 viewers. I did see that, which was awesome. Oh, look at that. 609 likes, 610 likes. We did it. And we did our longest live at 2 hours and 1 minute. Oh my gosh. Oh, Bama Gardner says, I'm going to make my own cookbook holder. I'm going to make it tall enough that I can slip my printer paper recipes in as well. Oh my gosh. How much interest would there be if I custom made some recipe holders, probably not out of this wood, but out of a different hardwood? Would you guys be interested in that? In buying a custom built recipe holder? I don't know how many people still use those. We use all of our recipes off of our phone. But that might be something that some of y'all are interested in. Let me know. Leave a comment or in the chat. Because I would love to build something for y'all that you could have a piece of my woodworking. I think that'd be super cool. And yeah, price? I have no idea. It would depend on how long it takes, obviously, and then what material we're using. And I mean, all of that goes into that. There's a lot that goes into woodworking. As you guys have probably seen over the last 2.5 hours, you start with something, you run into an issue, you got to fix the issue, you got to work around the issue, and then you get it figured out, and then you put it together, and then it's on to the next step, and then the next step. Foldable. I would do, well, I'd have to look at some pictures, but I'm thinking like if we built one and then had it like on a kickstand, had like a kickstand that popped out, so that you don't have to lean it up on the wall or anything, but has a kickstand. And a little recipe, you could make little recipe boxes. Oh, growing up, we used to have one of those for like 9x13 cards that were on recipes. It'd be cool. Maybe we put together like, we have some recipes on our website, but I think there's probably only 10, maybe 15 of some of our absolute favorites. So maybe we do like a miniature cookbook that we could sell with the cookbook stand or recipe stand. That would be pretty cool. I prefer physical books because electronics can crash. Oh, that's true, actually. Cookbook stand that holds a tablet, that's a good idea. Make it universal so you could put your iPad on it or whatever, or your phone, your iPad, or paper, and it would be 3 more. That's a good idea. Hey, wow, we're losing people. People are getting bored of me chit-chatting here. We're down to 609 viewers, but 624 likes. That is a first, where our likes have actually surpassed our viewers. That's awesome. My daughter made a cookbook holder in high school. Wow, you got my brain thinking. You got my brain turning. That might not be a bad idea. Beverly, I would love a cutting board. That would be amazing as well. I don't know. Are we into woodworking now? Am I into woodworking now? I know I have to woodwork on the airplane, which I absolutely love doing. This is my first time doing a table. I've done a butcher block before, and then obviously all my other random carpentry stuff. But I do enjoy it. I definitely want to tweak the shop a little bit to get it more set up so it doesn't look like this. I think we can do a little bit more on the organization front, but yeah, I think we got more woodworking projects to come. In fact, tomorrow's video, we're starting a new project while I finish up the table. That's another woodworking project that's going to be pretty cool as well. Well, I'm going to end it here. It's over past midnight. I'm going to go inside. I'm going to push post on yesterday's video because we're a little bit late. But so if you guys want to stick around for that, don't go anywhere. It'll be maybe 5 or 10 minutes, and I will have the new video for today going up. Thank you guys so much for the love and the support, and for watching. And for those of you that sent super chats, a big thank you to you as well. Thanks for all the love and the support, for watching the videos, and we will see you in like 10 minutes or tomorrow. Good night, everybody.